Det är jag som är Pierre Aziz, studierektorn i Sankt Ignatios, eller i EHS.
Thank you so much, Bojana. I'm Pierre. I'm the study rector at EHS, and we'll be translating here. So I will translate from Swedish, and Pierre will speak in Swedish.
Jättebra. Tack så mycket, fader. Jag ska börja och dela skärm.
I'm going to share this screen with you to show you the portal.
Ser ni antagning.se?
Yes.
Jättebra. Vi har 2 sidor som man kan söka kurser via universitetet. En som är antagning.se och den andra.
There are two portals which are used to apply to courses and programs in Sweden. One is Untagning.se and the other one is admissions.se. Universityadmissions.se, the English portal.
Idag kommer vi gå igenom några delar där vi kommer börja med att skapa konto, sen anmälan, sen vi ska bekräfta identiteten och avslutligen vi kommer att titta på hur man laddar upp dokument.
So today we're going to look at how you create an account, how you apply to a course, how you upload documents, and there was a
bekräfta identitet.
How you also confirm your identity when logging in.
Och vi börjar med den första som att skapa konto.
We'll start by creating an account.
Man går först till logga in.
Okay, we click on log in even though we don't have an account yet.
Visst ni ser admission va? Okej då, jag var lite osäker. Och sen man trycker på skapat konto.
We click create account.
Sen får man ett fråga om man har svensk personnummer eller inte.
You'll be asked if you have a Swedish identity number or not.
Man går vidare till exakt samma sida, skillnaden bara att man behöver fylla i mer information om man inte har svensk personnummer.
Both of these choices, yes and no, will lead to the same page. The difference is that if you do not have an ID number, then you will be required to fill in additional information.
Jag kommer att visa er. Jag trycker nej och här ska jag skapa ett konto till min bror. Så jag skriver hans personnummer.
In this case, I'm going to create an account for my brother. So I'm going to put in his ID number.
Och importera.
And import.
Och skillnaden är bara att den informationen är fylld när man har svensk. Annars ska man fylla själv namn, adress och city.
The only difference is that this information will be filled in from a register based on the personal number if you do have a personal number. And if you don't, then you'll need to fill that in yourself.
Och det du behöver göra att du måste fylla i telefonnummer, e-mailadress och password.
These fields over here are required. You have to fill in telephone number, email address and password.
Sen man väljer mellan de här två om man vill och ska delas eller inte. Och bekräfta att man är inte robot.
Then you have some options here where you choose whether or not your information can be used for marketing, and also you need to confirm that you're not a robot.
Som vanligt så här ni kommer få meddelande krav på password.
Of course, as is normally the case, there's a certain format for the passwords. Certain letters might not be allowed.
Nu har jag gjort det här arbetet tidigare för att öva, så jag har skapat ett konto tidigare.
Okay, I've already created an account earlier, so I will log in using that account.
Och då kommer man att komma till hit.
Then you will reach this page.
När du har sökt så kommer det att skickas ett brev hem till dig med en kod.
When you have applied, you will receive a letter in the post, snail mail, a physical letter with a code.
Den koden ska du ska logga in precis med e-mail som du angav och lösenord som du angav.
You log in with the exact email and password which you entered when you created your account.
Sen kommer man till mina sidor.
Then you'll come to my page, mina sidor.
Profil.
My profile.
Och skriva in koden som du har fått med posten.
And then you enter the code which you received in the mail.
Och då har man gjort den andra uppgiften och det är att man har bekräftat sin identitet.
And by doing this you will have confirmed your identity, which is the second step in the process. Kan jag bara fråga, den här finns på engelska, eller hur?
Ja, det är att när man går in i admission så får man precis samma information på engelska.
Yeah. When you use the English portal, universityadmissions.se, all of this will of course be in English, but it's the same layout.
Här finns det en jätteintressant meddelande och det är att du behöver inte vänta på brevet för att börja och söka eller anmäla dig till kurser.
There's some information here. You'll see it on the English site as well. Basically, it tells you that actually you do not need to wait until you have received the code and confirmed your identity in order to start choosing courses or looking at courses. You can start that process first and then confirm your identity later.
Är det bättre att jag går till den engelska sidan?
Ja.
Är det?
We'll take a look at the English portal.
Ja. Så där har vi samma meddelande.
Okay, we get the same message there. You do not need the activation code in order to start exploring the page.
Nu, den tredje uppgiften är det att vi ska göra anmälan.
Okay, so the third step is to actually apply for courses.
Och då gör man den genom att komma till menyn.
So we go to the menu.
Select kurs, eller välja kurs.
We choose courses we're interested in.
Och nu vet jag att jag ska läsa en kurs som heter TOK1.
And I know that there's a course, the course code TEOK1.
Search. Och då har jag kommit till den kursen.
And that then corresponds to the bachelor program at EHS. Bachelor program.
Jag trycker på lägga till.
I choose select.
Och då flyttas kursen hit.
So it puts the course in a kind of basket in your selection.
Vi säger att jag har valt kanske 5 eller flera kurser. Då kommer man att få alla kurserna här.
Depending on how many courses you've chosen, they will all be listed there, so you could have several courses listed.
Och sen man väljer starta anmälan.
And then you click start application.
Och det kommer jag inte göra för att då söker jag för min bror.
But I'm not going to do that now because then I will actually activate the application for my brother. So I won't do that.
Jag loggar ut och loggar in i min egen.
I'll log into my own account now.
Vad var koden? Ja. Så. Jag har sökt en kurs och den hittar jag här i anmälan.
I have applied to a course and now it's moved from my selection and it's under my application.
Och vill jag ändra den kursen eller den ansökan, då gör jag ju den genom att trycka på min sida, anmälan och ändra ansökan.
If I need or want to change my application at any time, then I go to my pages, my applications, and then change your application.
Och då är anmälan klar.
Then your application is done.
Här vill jag bara nämna någon viktig grej, och det är att man kan inte ladda upp dokument förrän man har gjort åtminstone en anmälan.
Okay. The next step is to upload relevant documents, but this is only possible if you've done an application, if you've applied to at least one course. You will not be able to upload the documents unless you have already applied to a course.
Och det gör man genom att gå till mina sidor.
And in order to upload documents, you go to my pages,
dokument. Och upload document.
And then upload documents, and they're listed specifically here, the required documentation.
Här är alltså jätteviktigt att man läser innan man börjar ladda upp.
Please read the yellow information thoroughly before you upload anything.
Har du engelska så laddar du, test, så du laddar den där uppe.
If you have some kind of certificate of proficiency for English, you can upload that there.
ID-dokument.
ID documents.
Särskilt om du inte är EU-medborgare.
Especially if you're not a citizen of the EU.
Nej, förlåt. Om du är inte svensk medborgare.
Sorry,
som EU-medborgare, då behöver du också visa att du är europeisk medborgare, EU-medborgare.
Sorry, I mean, especially if you're not a Swedish citizen. If you are an EU citizen, you still need to confirm your citizenship.
För att detta påverkar också avgiften.
This will potentially impact the tuition fees depending on what category you fall under.
Och sen här kommer laddar du upp alla dokument som har med kandidat eller master beror på.
And if you have diplomas for previous degrees, this is where you upload them. Bachelor's documents, master's documents.
Alla dokument ska vara PDF.
All documents should be in PDF format.
Och när man går vidare så finns det information om hur stora ska de vara och med mera.
When you click on these different categories, you will also get more information about the specific size of the documents and resolution and so on.
Jag skulle starkt rekommendera att skriva beskrivningen om vad dokumentet är när man ska ladda upp den. För det finns ett ruta där det står beskrivning, så att man fyller i den, inte hoppar över det.
Okay. When you click on any of these and it's time for you to upload a document, there will be a text field, an optional text field where you can write a description of the document, what kind of document, the context surrounding the document. And since it's not a required field, some people skip this field. I would highly recommend that you do explain what the document is in that text field.
Här, fader. Det är den som jag visar här. Det är lättare att hitta på svenska.
Okay, this is the Swedish version, but there'll be an equivalent. So above you have yellow information with the information about the file size and so on. And this field is optional, but highly recommended that you give a context to your document so that they know more specifically what it is you've uploaded.
Och med det har vi gått igenom skapa konto, anmälan, bekräfta identitet och ladda dokument.
And if we've done all of this, then we've gone through all the stages. We've created our account. We have selected a course. We have confirmed our identity. And we have uploaded the relevant documents.
Innan vi avslutar den delen så vill jag lyfta upp en punkt.
So before we finish this section, I wanted to emphasize one thing.
Här på första sidan antagning har vi två viktiga information, viktiga datum.
Både på den svenska och på den engelska.
Jag kollar på engelska faktiskt.
Key dates, ner till vänster.
Key dates.
Yeah. Okay. Starting on the first page, there are a couple of very important subpages. The key dates page is very important.
Och just nu är vad har vi här? Autumn, hösttermin. Jag får visa svenska det tydligare så enklare att förklara. Nu har alltså ansökarperioden öppnat fram till 15 april.
The Swedish page is a little bit clearer, unfortunately, than the English page. But here we see that this is the first period, application period. Börjar 15 april. Nej, börjar 15 mars.
Mars och slutar 15 april.
On the 15th of March and it finishes on the 15th of April.
Här 3 maj har sista dag att betala anmälningsavgift om det finns.
The 3rd of May is the final day to pay additional application fees if they're applicable.
Sen kommer man få ett mail eller information om man behöver komplettera och då är det 21 juni sista kompletteringsdag.
Sorry, for the 3rd of May as well, either it's the last day to pay the fee if there is a fee for the application. Also the final day to show that you are exempt from the fee. If there's some
genom att visa pass.
Yeah. By showing your passport. So 21st of June is the final day to send in complementary documents. If there's something missing from your application and they request other documents, 21st of June is the final date for those supplements.
9 juli får de svar på antagna eller inte.
I portalen eller via brev.
Ja, i portalen.
On the 9th of July, you'll get a message telling you if you have been accepted or not, and this is published in the portal.
Och innan 23 måste de svara om de vill ta kursen eller inte.
By the 23rd of July, you need to have responded to confirm if you are still interested in the course or not.
Det här vad gäller tiderna. Den andra viktiga och det är den här. De vanligaste frågorna. Jag tror att jag måste bara kolla på engelska. Här.
Okay. The second thing I want to emphasize is that there is a frequently asked questions forum here.
Går man till support center så är de fördelade per område också.
If you go to support center, they have the most frequently asked questions by category here. So you find all of the information you need discussed somewhere in your threads.
Och det var allt.
And that brings us to the end of the first section.
Bojarna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you just stop sharing your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. I would suggest that we go immediately to the second section, and then there will be time for asking questions and answers. So once you are admitted and you are a student of Enskilda Högskolan Stockholm, what happens then? Bjørg, can you help us with that part?
Yeah, okay. So when you're admitted, you will receive an email, right, Pierre?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I just take it in English or?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. So you receive an email that you're admitted to study with us, and then there are certain things you have to do. One is to register for your courses that you have been admitted to. And the second is to familiarize yourself with the course pages. And we have two systems that the students come into when you're admitted to study with us. And the first system you come into is called LADOC. And it's a national system here in Sweden that all universities use, or most anyways, use to keep the records of their students. You're admitted, registered, and also you get your transcripts, like your grades are entered into LADOC, and you can get your transcripts and your, when you have an exam, you get your exam documents, official transcripts from LADOC. So instructions what you need to do will be linked to your admission letter, and all the information, the steps you need to do is on our website. But I can show briefly a little what you need to do. And how this works depends on if you have a Swedish personal number, and if you are living in Sweden, or if you are living outside of Sweden and you don't have a Swedish personal number. So the system LADOC, you register for your courses and you get your grades. And if you have a Swedish personal number, you can register yourself in LADOC, and you can take out transcripts yourself when you have gotten your grades. And to do this, to log into the system, you have to create something called Edu ID, and that's almost like a bank ID, but for the students in the academic world. But this can only be done if you have a residence address in Sweden and live in and a Swedish personal number. So if you don't have that, you have to contact me. And then I will do these things for you in LADOC. Then we have another system called Canvas. And Canvas is the platform where all the courses are given. So every student comes also into Canvas. And the same is with the logging into Canvas, that if you can create an Edu ID, then you can log into Canvas with your Edu ID, and you. But if you cannot create an Edu ID, you have to contact me, and I will create a login for you, and then you can log in and work with your courses. And in Canvas, all the courses will be on your personal account, and then the teachers, they give all the information about your course, the schedule, and that's the detailed schedule. We also have a web schedule where you see the times for lectures, if there are scheduled lectures, like in campus courses, for instance. But in Canvas, the teachers will give you the assignments, you work and load up the assignments in Canvas. And since we have a lot of distance courses and Zoom lectures now, especially because of the pandemic, but then all these will also be in your Canvas courses. So, and you communicate with your teacher in the Canvas course and also with other students. So I can share my screen. Do we have time for that?
Yes, we do, please.
Yeah. So I'll just show you. So when you have been admitted, you will get a link in your admission letter, and you will, that link will go to our website. And now I'm switching to English here. As a student and a new student, there will be a lot of information here you can familiarize yourself with. But here is information about EduID, Ladok, and Canvas. So here is the instructions, what you need to do. How to log into your course pages on Canvas, how to log into Ladok, and how to create an EduID. So you need to start with how to create an EduID. And since I'm not a student, I cannot show you by going into the EduID, like create the EduID. I have done it like here with this PDF. So here are the instructions, what you have to do when you're inside and you have started to create your EduID account. You start at this page and then create your EduID. I'm not, there's the English. So the address is eduid.se and you choose English, and then you start to create your EduID here. And you start by your email address. And if you don't have a Swedish personal number and you don't live in Sweden, you don't do this, because then it's not possible to create a working EduID. You can create an account, but you cannot create a functional EduID. But if you have a Swedish personal number and you live in Sweden, then you go here and you register to create your account. And then when you have done that, you will get instructions in email and SMS how to proceed. And in the PDF here, I have also explained how you proceed every step of the way. And it's not enough to just create the account and think that now I have an EduID that I can use. When you have created the account and you have filled in your information, you also need to verify your phone number and your personal number, your Swedish personal number. And you can do this different ways. If you have a phone number, like a mobile subscription for a Swedish phone number that is in your own name, then, and it's a private subscription, then you can choose to enter your mobile number and to verify your telephone number, and then you can choose to verify your Swedish personal number with your phone number. But if, for instance, if you have pay card like in your phone, it's not possible to verify with your phone. If you have a company phone or a subscription, you cannot verify with your phone. And if you have someone else's subscription, like husband, wife, children, or a friend's name on your subscription, you can also not verify with your phone. So then you would have to choose that you want to verify with a letter home. And when you choose the letter home, it will be sent to your address of residency in Sweden. So then in that letter, there will be a code that you have to log into your EduID account and click on verifying the personal number, and then you enter the code from the letter. And this has to be done within a week time from when you get the letter. Otherwise, the code will be too old and you have to do the whole procedure over again to ask for a new letter at home to be sent to home. And to get this letter, maybe it takes sometimes from 10 to 2 weeks. So it's very important to do this at once you are admitted, so that you can create your EduID and get started, both to log into Ladok, to register, and to Canvas, to see what you need to do in your courses and get started on time. If you don't have the possibility to create the EduID account because you don't live in Sweden and you don't have a Swedish personal number, then you should email me, and my email address is on the website here, to kursadministratör@ehs.se. And the same with how to log into Ladok. You also need to create an EduID. So if you have an EduID, you can log into Ladok and you can register yourself on your courses, and you can also get transcripts when that time comes. But if you cannot create this EduID, then you need to email me. Here is my email address, courseadministrator@ehs.se, and I will help with registering. And if you are within the European Union, but outside of Sweden, then you're exempt from the study fees. So it should already be waived in Ladok, so I can register you on courses. But sometimes it can be some problems in the system, and it might not have happened. So then we would have to clear that up. But if you're outside of the European Union, there will be this spärr, like it's not possible to register before the fee is paid or before it's waived. So if you have a scholarship, for instance, we need to see, I need to know that you have a scholarship, so I need to get that information from, for instance, Pierre, or you show if you have a document or something that you have received scholarship. And also if you are in Sweden and you have received a residence permit, then you have to send that to me on email, because then we can, and it needs to be the decision from the Skatteverket that you have a personal Swedish number and that you have a residence permit showing the dates for the permit, because then we will enter the dates into Ladok and then the fee will be waived. So then I can register in Ladok. But if you don't have the permit, but you have applied and you're waiting for it, then you are still admitted to your course in Ladok, but it's not possible to register before you have received a decision and I have received a document, or I know that you have a scholarship, or you have paid the study fee, because you're not going to live in Sweden, or you're not receiving a scholarship. So but if you're in the process, it's still possible to work with the courses in Canvas. Because this process will not be finished when the term starts. So in most cases, if a student has applied for a residence permit to Sweden, it's not ready when the term starts, for instance, in August. So in that case, you would have to start your studies, your courses in Canvas, and in Canvas there is no limitation. Everybody that is admitted will be entered into Canvas and can work with the courses. However, the teachers cannot enter a grade in Ladok before the study fee is either paid or waived. So sometimes if you have applied for a residence permit, it takes time, and it's hard to know how long time it takes. Sometimes it can take several months. So we try to be understanding of that, and therefore we allow that students participate in the courses even if it's not processed all the way. And then also when it comes to the payment, I am the one that send out the invoices to those who are going to pay study fees. And also this takes time, because you have to have been admitted, and you have to I have to know that you are going to pay the study fees, that there is no exemption, and then I will send out the invoices, and then it will be maybe international bank transfer of the payment. And that also takes longer time than if it is done in Sweden. So even this, maybe sometimes it's hard to do before the term starts, or actually it's not possible to finish the whole process before the term starts. So in this case also, we do allow the students to start their courses, and then we try to finish this process as well as soon as possible, so that we can register when the payment has been done, and then also the teachers can enter the grades into Ladok. So then Canvas, there are, when you have the EDU ID, or I have sent the login to Canvas, then you go to this link, Canvas login. And here you can then choose how to log in. So if you have an EDU ID, you will click here, Student EDU ID. If you don't have an EDU ID, you will click here, and then you will enter the username and password I have created for you. And here you will enter the username and password that you created yourself when you created your EDU ID. So you would come here if you have an EDU ID. And if you don't, then it will look like this, and you will enter your password and your username here and click login. So now my internet is kind of slow. So now I have come into Canvas, my account, and I'm an administrator, so I have a lot of courses. And in the beginning here, there might be some announcements, because we also give announcements to all our students in the Canvas. So if you see that, yeah, there are many announcements here, then you can read them. And if you want them to be visible here when you log in, you can just leave them and scroll down to your courses. But if you think that, well, I have read this and I don't need to see it every time I log in, then you can just click on this cross here so that it disappears, but it will still be in your account. But then you would have to go here to click on your account and to look for them here in Globala anslag. You can still see the messages. But now when you come in, you scroll down and you see your courses. So then you just click on your courses and you see what the teacher have published. For instance, I don't know if this course has started yet. We can just go into this one. So it will look like this. There is some welcome general information about our university. And this is like in every course. So here you can familiarize yourself with this general information. And then the teacher will put information here about the course. We will find a course that has started. Let's see. This one, for instance. No, this is in. Can I show a Swedish one, or what do you think? Maybe this one, Biblical, so we'll take this one. Okay. So here is one course. in the, so if I click on modules here, then you see the information that is in all courses, and then the teachers will put information here, but this has no information yet from the teacher. I should choose an older term. The spring courses, not all have started yet. So let me show. For instance, this one from the fall term. So then the teachers will put the assignments here, for instance, and the schedule, how their course planning, the literature, detailed schedule. And then teachers, they do differently. Some give you like a detailed scheme day by day or week by week or more thematic. And then the home exam is here. So like everything that has to do with the course you find in Canvas on your account and in the specific course. And then if you have a course where there are scheduled lectures, then there is a different schedule for that, and that is on our homepage. You can even find the link to it in your Canvas course in the module with the general information. But here on the homepage, we have this link, schedule. So here is our web schedule, and here if you have go in a program, you can click on your program, or like for me, I'll just choose this one now. So here you can actually search out your specific schedule. So for instance, 5EN173 biblical studies. I just type in the course code and then choose this course. I want to see the schedule, show schedule. And then I can see here when the lectures for my course is. So it says the time and the teacher, and it says where it is given. And as at now, all is on Zoom links. So the Zoom links will be found in the course in Canvas. And for the fall term, we don't know the situation, how it will be. But the information will be given at any time on our website, and specifically detail for each course in Canvas in that particular course.
So I would like to thank you all for being part of this session.